Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that magic moment is back again when the Bill Crane Report's back on the air. My friend Dwayne Weiss and I will spend some time helping you. Now, it has been our want to be social critics, and pretty much give our opinion on a wide-ranging list of subjects.
We're never want for opinions.
That's right. That's one thing we have is opinions. So we are going to now spend some time on a subject near and dear to many of your hearts. I have discovered a newspaper article on 129 ways to get a husband. This was published in 1958 by McCall's Magazine. It was compiled by 16 experts, including a marriage counselor, an airline stewardess, a psychologist, and a bachelor. We couldn't fit all 129 entries in, so we only include the really dated, eye-rolling ones, which turned out to be most of them.
Yeah. Today the response would be, why do I want a husband? not how to get one.
You know,
the movement has totally changed.
I know. It's a different world.
Yep, absolutely. It's 180 degrees what it was.
So, message number one, I'm not going to start with. I've read all these, obviously. And I said to myself, I came up with one suggestion, and I was being semi-serious. I was being very serious, in fact. Be yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. You'll only end up making a fool of yourself.
That's very true.
So after that, this is all the ones they came up with. Number one, get a dog and walk it.
Yeah, if you're trying to find a husband,
and that's the idea
the
behind this.
There, you got to meet one first.
That's exactly right.
And, dogs do attract people.
They do.
Women.
Everybody likes to pet them.
Everybody come up and pet that dog.
Yeah.
You do meet people.
And you put your hand down so the dog can smell your hand.
Yep.
And then when he gives it a little lick, then you can give him a pat.
Yep.
It's not difficult. But I think that was good advice. I'm not sure it would have been number one, but nonetheless. Number two is beautiful. Have your car break down at strategic places.
Ay.
Well, every guy thinks he's somewhat of a mechanic or knows about vehicles, but how do you manage to do that?
I don't know. I guess you pretend it's broken.
Number three, attend night school. Take courses men like.
For you, somebody's going to go to night school, take a course that you don't particularly interested just to meet a guy, that's pretty damn desperate.
Well, now this, I think this, I think it was supposed to be for desperate women.
I think it is.
Yeah.
From the way it sounded.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I do know what it is. I just didn't write very well. Join a hiking club. Now, the hiking clubs are really not in vogue around
No.
here, so I suppose if one was available.
Yeah, maybe certain parts of the country that
Yeah.
would work. But
I mean, it sounds like broken ankles and sprained knees to me.
yeah, me
but,
too.
Now, this one is beautiful. Number 5, study census reports for most men in an area. In other words, the area that's got the largest percentage of men.
Hope you like Alaska.
Boy, I'll tell you, you got to really roll up your sleeves
man.
and go through the paperwork on this one. Well, it's just like Jen Pataki said last week about President Biden. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's got his calculator there. He's got his spreadsheets, and he's working through this problem of the budget. Now, you know what? I don't believe that one bit. He wouldn't know a spreadsheet from a
No,
piece of
no.
asparagus.
Why do you think there's tens of thousands of employees there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Okay.
I'm sure, I'd be willing to bet you he doesn't know how to run a computer.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Number 7, take up golf. Well, I could see why somebody would say that, but it's expensive. A set of clubs is a couple of $100 with a bag, and then lessons. Because you just can't go out there on the golf course and just stand there and hack and hack.
You don't go to a golf course stag. I mean, I don't know what a woman alone would go out and just stand around and find somebody. You got to meet know some people, and play with them. Once in a while, if you've got two of them, two people, they'll partner you up with two others. But it's not necessary. You're not going to get partnered up with some.
And also, there's times when a guy doesn't show,
Yeah.
and there's 3 of them, and hey, we got a loose person here that'll hop into make this a foursome. But
You don't see that very often.
no, and not only that, but you better be able to play golf.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the guys will kill you.
yeah, absolutely.
Number 8. The people that this is for obviously have got a
Well, you
lot
gotta
of
remember, it's
money.
1958 here now.
Yep.
So it's not.
Take several weekend getaways rather than one long vacation. Well, in a real world, I suppose. Go up to Maine for a long weekend. Go down to New York City for a long weekend. But you got to have a bunch of money.
Yeah, and you got to find some place that there's other people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And very few people just go out on their own for the weekend. Well,
Yeah.
I think I'll go to.
Maine and scoop some women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be other people there, but they're couples,
Yeah.
whether they're married or just dating or together.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is so absurd.
Sit on a park bench and feed the pigeons. Now, that's not
Oh, yeah.
expensive.
No,
And you know what?
except for dry cleaning.
Exactly. But you know what? Some bozo walking around might say, "Hi, a whole bunch of nice pigeons you got there, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you say you and I have a couple of snaps tonight?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know.
okay.
Number 10, take up bicycling. Well, in the city, I mean, that's a good way to get killed.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Now, you're going to love this one. This is the best one so far. Get a job in a medical, dental, or law school. Well, I think what they're saying is the predominant
Of students
amount of
going to those
people are
professions.
men,
Yep.
but not necessarily so anymore.
Not today
No,
anymore.
the women outweigh the men now in law school. I know
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and in the dental school, I know that too. This is good. Easy to. Become a nurse or an airline stewardess. They have very high marriage rates. It's a good idea, not very practical, but ask your friends' husbands if they know any single men.
That might work.
That might work.
That
yeah,
one might work.
There's always somebody that has got thrown out of the house by the little woman that's
but you wanna know
searching
why
for
he's single, that's-
companionship.
Yep.
Thelma, by the way, are you writing these down?
Uh-oh.
Don't bother. I'll give you a full printout later. You're going to like this one. Be nice to everybody. They may have an eligible brother or son. I mean, isn't
Why would you just be nice to him in the first
everybody
place?
in the first place? Yeah, exactly. I guess you extra nice, I guess, is the key phrase there. 16, volunteer for jury duty.
Oh, boy.
But here's one I like. Be friendly to ugly men. Handsome is as handsome does. Whatever the hell that means.
Well, I agree. Be friendly to ugly men.
Yeah.
But what's an ugly man?
Yeah, exactly. Well, means I have better chance.
What they used to call that settling. I'll settle for that.
Yes. 18. Tell your friends you want to get married and don't keep it a secret. Well, why not put it in the paper?
Yeah. Why don't you get a shirt that says it? And
Yeah.
walk around, you know.
Marry me.
A lot of these will apply the other way, too. There could be men looking for women.
Yes. But this was in a woman's magazine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. McCall's.
Yep.
Oh, today that would be so that they wouldn't even consider
I know it.
publishing anything like that.
I like this one. Get lost at football games.
Oh, my God.
A guy certainly would. What you don't know what section you're in? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll stop watching the game and
Yeah,
I'll
and
take you to your
around.
section
Yeah,
and find your seat for you.
That's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to happen. I'll tell you what. And she's a 9-star knockout. It might happen, and she's got jewels
Well,
and.
One time, we were at a sporting event, my wife and I and my son. He was kind of a little devil, too. He liked,
Kids? Devils? Wow.
Just being a troublemaker. And she went to get some refreshments or something. We saw her walking back down on the aisle down there, looking up. She couldn't quite remember where it is. I was going to raise my hand. My son says, "No, Dad, don't say nothing. Let's see how long she searches for us." I said, "She's going to kill you if he finds out that."
But that's kids.
Yeah. Let's see how long she'll search.
Oh, God. Number 20. Don't take a job in a company run largely by women. Now, that has a degree of common sense.
That does have a good degree. Yeah, that one.
Because a woman-dominated company hires women.
Yeah,
You're not going to meet
yeah.
any guys there. And not only that, but gals don't really say things like, "Oh, Mary, you look lonely. I have a boyfriend
Yeah,
that I'll share with you. Or see if you can make a man out of him." Dwayne, these are great. Get a job demonstrating fishing tackle in a sporting goods store.
Oh, gee.
Can you see Thelma with a fly rod? Get over
No,
here, big
sorry,
boy.
Thelma, I can't.
22. On a plane, train, or bus, don't sit next to a woman. Sit next to a man. Well,
Oh, that's right. That's from the woman's perspective.
you know, that's probably fairly good advice.
Yeah.
Unless the guy is some smoldering idiot that you can smell him before you can see him.
a little risky on a bus.
It is, yeah. Especially today. Go to all your high school and college reunions. You know, that's not a bad thought. Because you know what? Not only do you meet the guys, but you might meet the girls too.
Yeah.
And so how about that hunky brother of yours? Oh, he's still on the loose, Mary Lou. Why don't I give you his number?
That one's not appropriate, but apropos for later years.
Yes.
Because you start going back to reunion
exactly.
And the spouses have deceased or they're divorced.
That's exactly right. That
one works both ways.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Don't be afraid to associate with more attractive girls. They may have some leftovers. Do you know?
Oh, go ahead.
Do you know? It's been my experience that good-looking girls love to have a plain Jane girlfriend.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I've heard that discussion among them before.
Yes. No competition there.
Mm-hmm.
And if the guy turns out to be a real dud or a jerk, I'll just pass him off to Mary Lou.
That's right.
You know what? This isn't working.
When the guys do it, they call the other guy the wingman.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep.
Go back to your old hometown and check mails out. I just go back home and put an ad in the local paper. Hey, I'm here for a couple of weeks.
Maybe set up a booth on a corner or something. I don't know. That
God.
Makes no sense.
Don't room with a girl who is a sad sack and let her pull you down to her level. Well, come on. Why would you want to room with a girl that was a sad sack anyway?
That's right.
I mean, you're not going to have any fun with her. You're not going to go any place. She's just going to sit in the room and gather dust.
Do they still publish this magazine?
McCall's? I don't know. Oh. 27. Get a part-time job in a convention center.
No.
Might not be a bad idea, but convention centers don't grow on trees.
No.
When traveling, stay at small hotels where it is easier to meet strangers. I'm not so sure that's true.
There's
This is beautiful. Learn to paint. Set up an easel outside an engineering school.
Oh boy! Again, it's the idea that women don't. Only men are engineers.
Yeah.
And the STEM
But
disciplines.
the engineering guys usually are busy in their minds doing math problems or something like that. And they're really going to go over to see what this nitwit has got on her easel. Maybe, I don't know.
The owner of the dog had value. Saying that we agree that what's going on
All the squirrels,
here.
yeah.
Now, one time, we were down at I think it was Jersey Shore with friends of ours, and we met. Not that we were looking to meet women. We met a lot of women because we started doing a sculpture in the sand, and it was kind of gross. It was like a big alligator eating a person.
Oh, okay.
But it drew women all over. People would stop and talk and say, "What are you guys making?" and all that kind of stuff. If you were single, that would have been a good way to meet somebody.
Both ways. It would be a good way to attract ladies, and it would be a good thing for ladies to go and talk to the guys.
Tom, in our case, our wives were about 15 feet behind us, making sure that we weren't getting...
See, that's one of the drawbacks.
Yeah.
I love this one, Dwayne. I can do this without even trying. Stumble when you walk into a room that he's in. Forget discretion every once in a while and call him up. No, you know what? That's commonplace now.
Yeah, today
Yeah.
it's equal.
We're a Band-Aid. People always ask what happened. All right.
Risky today.
Number 35 is the best one yet.
Okay.
Make a lot of money.
That would work. That,
I think so.
you know, my mother was widowed. Not early, but not late either. And she really wasn't interested in dating anymore, but guys would start talking to her or calling her. She says she's telling one of her friends once, she says, the trouble with it today, we're seniors. The guys that are interested are looking for two things, a nurse or a purse. It's right.
Very good.
They're looking for somebody to take care of them
Yep.
or money.
Yep.
And it's probably true.
Yeah.
Not that I know, because she
Yeah.
was 1,500 miles away.
Yeah. But you know what? That's right.
Hmm?
Learn funny stories and how to tell them. But you know what? That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, that among anybody, that would be
But everybody.
be
Salesman.
popular. Absolutely.
Yeah, you name it. Walk up to him and tell him you need some advice. Okay, that sounds better than it is. I mean, how many times have you had a woman walk up to you and say, "Hey, good looking, could you tell me how the hell I could manage to balance my checkbook?" Or, how can I get tickets to the Celtics? Or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times that happened. Interrupting my dinner, everything else. They're always coming up to me. Just like you.
Yeah,
chip
but
magnets.
most of the time the women said, they came up to you and said, "Get out of my way, creep."
Yeah, creep.
Yeah.
Or usually the mace is coming out right away.
And then I said, "Mr. Creep to you." Dropping the handkerchief still works.
Oh, jeepers.
Have you filed to buy some theater tickets that have to be gotten rid of? Now, you know what? That's not the worst icebreaker in the whole wide world.
Expensive.
But expensive. Yeah. And then, you know what? If you do that, or Celtics tickets, or Bruins tickets, or something, and you get a conversation going with the guy that, hey, you've met him a couple of times, and hi, how they going? And it's an icebreaker. Worst thing that could possibly happen is, guess what, David? That was a date for tomorrow night, but he already gave the tickets away in the meantime. What do you say we go out to dinner instead? I'll buy. Or Dutch treat, or something like that. Because if he asked you to go to the game, he's interested. Well, this is a good one. Stand on a corner and cry softly. Chances are good that he'll come over to find out what's wrong.
Chances are good he's going to stay far away.
Far away. And chances are he'll think, oh my God, she's overdosing.
Yeah,
or
she's a mental case.
Yeah,
or
mental case. Or
something I don't want to get involved with here.
Or she's just been sued. Or, oh boy.
Maybe we should post these at the senior center for.
This is food for thought.
Yeah, right.
Don't let him fish for your name the next time you meet. None of this guess who stuff.
That's
Now, you know what?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause-
When you call Dwayne, don't say, guess who?
Yeah, do you know what
because,
this is?
You know what? Yeah, Dwayne's going to feel like an idiot if he can't remember your name. Or if he thinks you're somebody else.
Oh, that's something else. That's another thing. When people come up to you, remember me?
Yeah.
Well, if I did, I would have probably
I would have said hi there.
right off the
yeah,
bat,
remember
yeah.
the day we both fell on the floor?
Yeah.
Talk to the wallflowers, the silly guys. Open their doors. I guess that makes some sense. Now, if
Yeah.
some guy is, because they don't have dances anymore.
No, not as such.
No, but you know, in dating bars and all that, if some guy is standing over in a corner nursing a beer, and he looks like a decent human being, what the hell's to stop you from going over there and
Nothing.
say, did you hear the one about the, yeah, what's happening, buddy? How about them Red Sox?
Mm-hmm.
Because-
Women are, but you know, it's fun going back to these things and seeing how things have changed.
Yeah.
Today, women are not. They're 1958. If you weren't married at a certain point, there was some concern.
The mores in the country
Oh,
have
yeah.
changed. Buy a convertible. Men like to ride in them.
Oh yeah.
This is better. Learn to bake tasty apple pies. Bring one into the office and let the eligible bachelors taste it. Not the worst idea in the world. It's more an icebreaker than
Yeah.
anything
Oh,
else,
sure.
but not a bad idea. You know, we had a woman at the Foxborough Company that was one of the great hot tickets of all times. She was from Norwood. She was always doing funny things. And she brought in a cake. She was quite a baker. She brought in a cake one day, and she designed it with some sparklies and made a big thing out of it. So somebody said, "Oh, gee, I wish I could remember her name, Nikki or Vernie or whatever the hell her name was. She had a nickname." She said, "What's the special occasion for the cake?" She said, and I'm cleaning this up. "Well, last night was the 2000th time my husband and I made love." But that's the kind of thing she would do. But that wasn't exactly what she said. You
I can
figure out what
imagine.
she said, I think.
I think I got it.
Yeah. But it was just one of those things. I mean, talk about an icebreaker. I mean, laugh at his jokes. Now, that goes without saying. Now, you don't have to go into hysterics, but... now, this one here, I think this would be bad. Accidentally have your purse fly open, scattering its contents all over the street.
Yeah, right.
You know what? A guy would probably help her.
Oh yeah,
But it seems to me there's a better way to do it than that.
much better.
Men like to think they're authorities on perfume. Ask his advice on what kind you should wear. You'd be way off base with me. I know what I like, what I like the smell of. I can't remember what the hell the names of it was or any of that. Get better looking glasses. Men still make passes at girls who wear glasses or try contact lenses. You know, I agree with that. I think it's called putting your best foot forward.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
Rather
with it.
than wear old school mom
Oh, yeah.
glasses,
Yeah.
you know. If you have a choice, buy something that's kind of stylish or something. Practice your drinking with your women friends first.
Practice your drinking.
Well, I think finding out how much you can hold and what happens to you after the third drink. I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, it's not. Everybody should know their limit.
Yeah.
I sometimes in the past, younger days, probably forgot my limit.
Go flying right by it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know those days. If you dye your hair, pick a shade and stick to it. You know what? A woman that has green hair on Monday, purple hair on Wednesday, and a screaming blonde on Saturday, that doesn't do much for me. I figure she's going to be bald by the time she's 30. And I'll tell you what, this could have been written by Marilyn Monroe. Wear high heels most of the time, they're sexier. Marilyn Monroe said that every man should go to bed at night and thank God for the man that invented high heels. She said they're the sexiest thing a woman can wear. That's Marilyn Monroe.
Yep.
You writing this down, Thelma? Unless he happens to be shorter than you are. In that case, don't wear high heels. This is a beauty. Tell him he's handsome.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to say you're handsome. You can say, you look good tonight, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you do, wash? You know.
You clean up well.
Take good care of your health. Men don't like girls who are ill. True story. If you look good in sweaters, wear one on every third date.
That's a throwback to
The good
the
old
sweater
days.
girls. Yeah.
Dress differently from the girls in the office. Well, that could carry you to a whole bunch of
Yeah,
places
that
that
can
may
go-
not be good.
That can go either way. Then.
Yeah. Get a sunburn. I guess that's so people will say, how did you manage to do that? What beach were you at for that? You were screwed up, or... Yeah. Go on a diet if you need to. Yeah. When you're with him, order your steak rare.
Why? If you don't like it rare, don't order it rare.
Well, because I think it's because most men like their steak medium rare or rare, and you don't want to rock the boat by having him think, I'm paying for this, and she's burning a beautiful steak by having it extra cooked. I know that, extreme. I dated a girl once at prime rib, and she ordered it extremely well done. Shoe leather.
She didn't ask for ketchup.
That's the only thing she didn't do. Watch your vocabulary. Build it up. Oh, that's pretty, that common sense kind of thing. I mean, but by the same
I
token,
guess vulgarities are out too.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
but you don't want to really build it up to the point where you're talking down.
Oh
at
yeah,
me.
there'll be like a.
What's
pump.
that mean, Waldo? Yeah. Or just have her lose track of whatever it is you're trying to make for a point. Don't tell him about your allergies. European women use their eyes to good advantage. Practice in front of a mirror. I agree. Boy, a woman that can bat her eyelashes, she can put the moves on me anytime.
You heard that, ladies.
Right. Buy a full-length mirror and take a good look before you go to greet him. Well, you know what?
That's common, just
Yep.
going outside. Yep.
If he has brought you any trinket or accessory, make sure you wear it.
Yeah.
Like a little pin or... get that fresh, scrubbed look by scrubbing. I mean, it's common sense. Learn to remember names. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That applies to every
Everybody.
person in every single
Yeah.
portion of life. And you know what? I cannot remember names sometimes. I had a box of index cards that I traveled with,
Yeah.
and I had a 3x5, actually a 4x6, I like the bigger size, of every customer I met. And I'd write on there his dog's name and his
Oh, I did that
kid's
too.
name. Yeah.
I always told my salesman to do the same thing
Yep. When I went on trips, I took the right cards with me.
and read them before you went in.
That's right.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And when I went back out to the car, I added to them. Use the ashtray. Don't crush out cigarettes and coffee cups.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight on stuff.
Polish up on making introductions. Learn to do it gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just, that's good etiquette. That's
Well,
just
few
like,
of these still apply.
yeah. Don't be too fussy.
Well, you can get to the point where you are pain in the butt because
Yes.
you're fussing over everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know that. Now, I've met girls like that.
Yep.
Especially the ones that, well, I can change him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't whine. Girls who whine stay on the vine. You know what? Boy, is that excellent advice.
I think that could go both ways too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Show them you can have fun on a cheap date, but don't overdo it. Well, I think that's just putting your best foot forward. Don't let your parents treat him like a potential husband.
Oh yeah, that's another one that scares. But that whining, I had a salesman, a young guy, and he couldn't figure out why girls didn't like him, but he whined constantly,
Hate
complaining,
whiners.
whining.
God.
Nothing was ever right.
This one here is great. Double date with a gay, happily married couple. Let them see what it's like.
What?
What? I think
I
they were
don't think
using
that-
gay in
I
the vernacular.
I don't think that. I think it had a different meaning then.
Yes, today that has really got a different meaning. Let him see what it's like.
Oh,
Send his mother a birthday card. Well, that's only if you know the mother's birthday is, I suppose. Tell his friends nice things about him. Well, you know what? That's not. You know what? That's a lot better than saying,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what? Ralph turned out to be a jerk the other night.
yeah.
Because he's going to take that one right back to Ralph. Ask your mother for her best recipes. You know what? Not a bad idea, but that comes later in their
Way later.
relationship. Way later. On the first date, tell them you aren't thinking of getting married. I'm not altogether sure that's...
I don't think.
That's not the kind of thing I ever talked about on a first date.
No.
And this next one, I agree with totally. Don't talk about how many children you want. I mean, you want to scare a guy away? Oh, you want to get a guy confused?
Yeah.
If he's a fisherman, learn to scale and clean fish.
Oh my God.
It's not a bad thought.
It's-
When you're out strolling with him, don't insist on stopping at every shop window. Don't tell him how much your clothes cost. Learn to sew and wear something that you made yourself. I think that ship is pretty much
That
sailed.
ship is sailed.
Don't gossip about him. No matter how lighthearted or meaningless you think you say something, don't say anything about it. I'm on that one 100%. Never let him know he's the only guy you're dating. In other words, don't say, Waldo, I just sit for your phone call. I don't take phone calls from other guys. But no, you don't want to float the fact that I get calls all the time. My phone's ringing off the hook. You're not the only.
That Maury or that
Yeah.
thing has changed
Yes,
just completely the other
it
way.
has. Yeah.
Remember when we were young,
Yeah.
going steady was something.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was
Young.
quite a while ago.
Yeah. Find out about the girls he hasn't married. Don't repeat the mistakes they made. What are you going to do? Hire a detective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't discuss former boyfriends. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I never cared for any young lady that rolled out, well, you know, when I was going out with Bobby, he always said about, or he always took me to this,
Yeah.
he always,
Yeah,
why the hell aren't you still going out with him then?
that's a good advice for either side, too.
Mm. If you're widowed or divorced, don't constantly discuss your ex.
Yeah. It's smart advice, both sides.
Well, that is just great advice. Be flexible. If he decides to skip the dance and go rowing on the lake, go, even if you're wearing your best evening gown. I don't think that applies
That's not going to
anymore.
happen.
Turn wolves into husband material by assuming they have honor. Whatever that means, I don't know. Reserve the urge to make him over until married.
Until
In parentheses.
Oh, my God.
Learn where to draw the line gracefully. Gee, I wonder what that means.
Yeah, that's got some different meanings today.
Yeah.
A lot of different
I
meanings.
think I know which line she's talking about. Remain innocent, not ignorant. That's great advice, I think. Don't pretend you're something you're not.
No.
Don't be open and gross about it either. Learn to play poker.
Nah.
If he's rich, tell him you like his money. The honesty will intrigue him.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Never let him believe your career is more important than your marriage. I think that's good advice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't tell dirty stories.
Maybe one way or the
Depends
other.
on how
Could be-
dirty they are.
Yeah, it depends on who the individual
Cute
is.
stories are
Yeah.
one thing. Text him something funny or meaningful to you. Text him something funny or meaningful to you, both, occasionally. In other words, something you would share.
Not in 1958.
No, and I think that I changed that from whatever it was.
Yeah, it wasn't texting, that's for sure.
Stop being a mama's girl. Don't let him think you'll have in-law trouble, even if you know he will. Point out to him that the death rate of single men is twice that of married men. I'm not sure
Where did they
about
get
that.
some of these?
This one here is not as stupid as it sounds. Ride the airport shuttle bus back and forth around the airport. There's a constant supply of guys coming and getting on and getting off those. Now, I don't know what you do. You got to have a hook, and you hook onto one.
Yeah, because everybody's in a hurry.
Yeah.
He's got to make that next flight.
Go to Yale. That's kind of an expensive deal.
Yeah.
Get a hunting license. Well, you know what? That works out in the Midwest.
Yeah. But you got to go hunting.
Yeah. If your mother is fat, tell him you take after your father. If he's fat too, tell him you're adopted.
Oh, my God.
Stow away on a battleship.
Oh,
Rent a billboard and post your picture and telephone number on it.
and get arrested for soliciting.
Yeah. Paint your name and number on your roof and say, "Give me a buzz, pilots." Start a whispering campaign on how sought after you are. Carry a camera and ask strange, handsome men if they would mind snapping your picture.
Today it's selfies, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. They do that.
Yeah.
Make and sell toupees. Bald men are easy catches. Let it be known in your office you have a button box and will sew on bachelor's loose buttons. They'll come to the conclusion you don't have all your buttons.
Yeah, I know.
And finally, don't marry him if he has too many loose buttons.
Yeah. But you can tell that was from 1958.
Yep. But you know, things have changed.
Oh my gosh.
But it's fun to look back at something like that.
Oh yeah, you see, like even in the movies, the older movies you see, and Hollywood had this idea the way things should be or are, but it was never quite real.
Yeah.
The married couples never slept in a big bed; they're always
Right.
in a single bed.
Yeah.
And everything was like Leave It to Beaver, Wally, and then the kids and the parents, their relationship, and they were always dressed. Everybody's dressed. A man always wear a suit.
When he's reading, remember Ward Cleaver?
Yeah.
A suit and a tie to read his newspaper.
Yeah. Baseball games, everybody had a suit on. Well, some did.
And a hat.
And a hat, yeah. But things change. It is kind of funny to look back, and your kids do that too. They say, oh my God, you guys are old-fashioned, or you guys are old. I get that I used to get that all the time.
Well, now you know what? Let's think about something that you and I never experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Computer dating.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah.
There wasn't any such thing.
There wasn't else anything such as computers.
No.
I mean, but now you have to post. I guess I'll probably have this all wrong, but you post your pictures on Facebook or some such, or on
Yeah.
wedding sites,
I don't know
whatever the wedding sites are, Bumble or something else, and I guess it costs money to post on there or do something, and you write down a whole questionnaire of stuff, and then women look at them, or vice versa, men look at the women, and then you contact the ones and you send them all your info.
And there's one where they push left or push right
Yeah.
if they're interested in.
Yeah.
I don't.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, I won't say half the time, but what young people have told me is, hey, you know what? You punch up some girl, and you say, got any other pictures? Oh, no.
No, I just.
Yeah, well, why don't you take some selfies and shoot them off at me? Or something. And that's it. She never does, because obviously she's used her sister's picture or somebody else's
Something she
picture.
cut out of a magazine.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they call that one of the types of catfishing.
Catfishing, okay.
Yeah.
But where's the spontaneity? I mean, where's the talking to a young lady and looking at her eyes and her smile and the way she carries herself and your body language, and how is that transmitted? And the answer is it's not.
It's not.
So
No,
it's
not.
It's like two robots meeting
But
afterwards.
today, it's not men trying to get women or women trying to get men. It's not a game of capture the flag here.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it much better today. If I was out in the marketplace, which at our age that's dreaming. But
Monica doesn't watch this show, does she?
yeah, well, no, I don't think so. I didn't mean it anyway. We're not really looking.
This is just
Bill and I just
conjecture.
say nope, stay away, girls.
Yep.
Yep.
But I'd hate to go through all of this. Well, guy at work. When I retired, I became a security guard a couple of nights a week on the 12 to 8 shift. And one of the guys that was on with me was totally, completely inept in every form of existence, which is why he was a security guard working by himself late at night.
Yep.
And he would show me things on the internet. And what should I say to her? And I said, well, be yourself. Well, I don't know how to do that. And,
Yeah. Some people.
and I'd hate like hell to try to. All right, so I see a picture of a girl. And I say, well, she's cute, and she lives in Bellingham. That's close enough. And I'll punch her up and say, hey, it's Bill. What's happening? And it turns out to be somebody that can't communicate with you. I don't know. It seems like a very cumbersome way to do business. And there's a high rejection rate. Oh, I don't get a guy that knocks my socks off. I never seem to get one of those. I get some creep.
Yeah, right.
And the creep might be the nicest guy in the world.
That's right. He would
Yeah.
make the best husband or best
Yeah.
mate. But I think today some people, not all, but some people have trouble on a face-to-face relationship
Oh, I know.
today because of social media and always typing something or looking something at a TV screen.
Yeah.
And the person-to-person skills do start to warrant. Gotcha.
And you know what, Dwayne? You and I both made our money on the road in sales.
That's right.
How can you possibly be a computer creation,
No,
a
you can't.
computer head, and go out and say, hey, Arthur, how are you? Good to see you. How's the wife and family? How's that son of yours? He's still middle linebacker on the team? And
We used to call that schmoozing.
yeah, how's old Brownie, the dog?
Yeah.
And
But you had to get onto a personal relationship in sales. If you
Bingo.
didn't, you were not going to go anyplace.
people sell to people.
Oh, absolutely.
And as soon as you can get on the people-to-people basis rather than the salesman to the technocrat,
Yeah.
then you have a chance to sell.
And you had to be honest and upfront, not to the point where it's offensive. You can be too honest too.
Yes,
You
indeed.
walk into Joe's office and say, God, that's an ugly suit.
Yeah.
Is that your
Yeah.
wife? That her?
Yeah.
God, how old is she?
Did she take distemper shots?
Yeah. But you got to know where to.
You got to. And you know what? And the best thing to do is, if there's any risk in what you say, don't say it.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
be yourself. And
And you have to be very, very careful today.
Yep.
On what you say or what you do, particularly what you say. There's an old saying, say it, forget it, post it, regret it. Because when you start fooling around with a computer and posting things, it doesn't go away. It's there. It's going to be the same as writing.
forever.
Forever, yeah. Oh, yeah. And some
know-
of these people are finding these things are coming back to haunt them now today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I had a distributor down in Houston, Texas. One of the nicest guys I've ever known in my life. Tom Heffington.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. He passed away a few years ago. And I went down. My boss sent me down. He knew Tom. Can I work with Tom for a few days? Okay. So I went down, worked with Tom. Had a lot of fun. Drank a lot of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Went down a second time. Went to some other customers. Went down a third time. Worked with them. Went to some other customers. Went down the fourth time. And Tom said to me, you know what, Bill? He said, I've been trying you out. He said, I'm starting today. He says, I'm going to start taking you to the good customers. He said, but I had to find out what you were all about. He said, I hope you won't take it personal, but I got burnt too many times.
Yeah.
And you know what happens, folks, is when I go down there, and say Dwayne is my rep, and he's located in Houston, I get down and work with him. And he takes me around to his customers, and I demonstrate my product that Dwayne represents in that territory, so that the orders go to Dwayne, but I try to sell it for Dwayne. Sometimes the sales managers go down, get all the business cards of all the customers, go back home and fire Dwayne.
Yeah,
And then call the customers and say, I'm taking you direct.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Tom was guarding against that. And he said, it's nothing personal, Bill, but I've got burnt too damn many times. And after that, Tom and I were great.
Yeah, you have to, in a sales relationship, you got to have a trust.
Yeah. Yep. I had, someday, and it'll be coming here soon, I have a list of stories about little vignettes of me on the road. We'll have to go over that because I got some really good stories. For you ladies that have traveling salesman husbands, it's going to open your eyes to what really goes on out there on the road. But
It's not quite like you've heard all these years.
yeah.
We never came on this Farmhouse and the Farmer's Daughter and all that stuff. We kept looking, but we never found it.
Oh, but anyway, folks, we just got the message that another hour has passed. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will keep posting these good shows on the internet, on the computer for you, on TV, on Norfolk Cable, and hope that you enjoy it. And any input that you have for us, please drop us a note here of Norfolk Cable TV.
We're here. We'll answer.
Yeah.